Welcome back to today's economic news, where we delve deep into the stories that affect your wallet and your world. I'm your host, John, and today we have a head-scratching, infuriating tale that should leave you questioning the very foundations of our public trust. We are diving into the Minnesota COVID meal fraud scheme, an audacious act that's not just a blight on our pandemic history, but a glaring example of governmental oversight, or should I say, the lack thereof. Before I reveal the full story, let's set the stage. Picture this, a time when the world was gripped by the COVID-19 pandemic. Families were struggling, schools were closing, and in the midst of it all, the government stepped in with bold, sweeping programs meant to provide essential relief. But what if I told you those very programs we relied upon might have been nothing more than open bank vaults? For the unscrupulous, let's dig a bit deeper, shall we? During the early days of the pandemic, as we all remember, the Meals Act was introduced as an emergency measure, a lifeline for children in need. Anticipated with bipartisan applause, its goal was noble: to feed children who suddenly found themselves without the guaranteed meal they received at school. But my friends, in creating this blanket of security, a curious omission occurred: the absence of strong oversight. Taking you back to 2020, when this all began, authorities assured the public of due diligence. Yet, here we are, facing an investigation that reeks of mismanagement and exploitation. Fast forward now to January 20th, 2022, when the FBI executed a raid, unearthing a staggering $250 million fraud allegedly facilitated by Feeding Our Future, a nonprofit implicated at the heart of this scandal. That's right, $250 million. Can you even fathom what that means? That's millions of taxpayer dollars set ablaze, enriching a few at the expense of our nation's most vulnerable. To put that number into context, imagine taking $250 million in $1 bills and laying them end to end. It would span nearly the entire length of Minnesota itself. Now, what was our return on this colossal investment? Pretty close to zilch, nada, nothing. For such a sacrifice, one would expect improvements, safer schools, robust meal programs, better conditions. But instead, some individuals use these funds for extravagant lifestyles. Salim Ahmed said, for instance, is alleged to have spent $2 million on a lavish mansion and indulged in $9,000 shopping sprees each month at Nordstrom. Folks, they lived luxuriously while children were being left behind. Is this what we bargained for? Hang on there, because it gets better. A total of 78 defendants have been charged. Yet, the biting irony is that, according to critics, this fraud wasn't just about individual greed. It was symptomatic of a broader systemic failure. Does this ring a bell? Could it be another chapter in the government's growing anthology of incompetence? Let's examine some of the reactions. We heard outrage from political figures, with statements like, "The alleged fraud scheme orchestrated by Feeding Our Future is reprehensible," and "using the guise of feeding children to funnel millions of dollars toward extravagant expenses is abhorrent." Strong words indeed, but the real question remains: why were the necessary safeguards not in place from the get-go? One official remarked, somewhat sheepishly, that when you have these kind of new programs that are, designed to help people, you're oftentimes relying on third parties. Notice the conditional tone, oftentimes, as if not wanting to admit outright failure. So let's unwrap the libertarian angle here, because nothing summarizes government bungling better. This scandal is a microcosm of inflation and theft. A whopping $250 million diverted from its rightful purpose not only adds the pile of economic strain on taxpayers, but feeds directly into the inflationary pressures we face today. More ironically, it showcases how government incompetence and lack of accountability make such misappropriations commonplace, shaking the very foundation of public trust. Moreover, this isn't just about money, it's about our freedoms, our liberties. When emergency measures grant vast powers without rigorous oversight, it risks individuals' rights and provides fertile grounds for exploitation. This scandal demonstrates the destructive potential of government overreach, leaving taxpayers like you and me footing the bill for someone's lavish lifestyle. In summary, this Minnesota meal fraud saga is a powerful reminder of the imperative to demand accountability and oversight, even in times of crisis. If you're tired of paying for the mistakes of a system meant to serve us, it's time to voice your discontent. Hit the subscribe button, stay informed, and together, let's hold those in power accountable. Thank you for joining me on today's economic news. I'll see you soon for our next deep dive. Stay vigilant